Hey, what's going on? It's Techno, and I'm actually back. I know I said that last time, but now I think I'm actually gonna be back. And reason I'm back is because we have a big challenge ahead of us called the Token Minorities March Madness Tournament. Now, for those of you who don't know what it is, even though I'm sure every one of you knows what it is, the Token Minorities March Madness Tournament is a big tournament, like a 160-person tournament full of some of the best Pokemon players out there, and I'm going to be a part of it. I'm going to be in the open pool divisional stage, and we're going to see how we can do. It's going to be a blast. But without further ado, I'm just going to be showing my draft, then I'll be able to get into what I'm actually bringing. So I will show you guys in a second. Be right there. This is a recording, and just being a computer overall, this is probably like the slowest computer of all time. But we're just gonna go over our picks, or at least attempt to. Hopefully this recording doesn't crash. If so, oh well, I'll just redo it. But if it does, then yeah, that's literally what I just said. But anyways, the first pick we got for this tournament is going to be Tapu Koko. Now, Tapu Koko is a new Pokemon this generation. It's one of the 4 Tapus, which means it gets, it has base 570 base stat total, and it gets a Surge ability, which summons a terrain, which has become so much more relevant in the current meta. And this thing is overall just an insanely good Pokemon. Now, from first look, the only thing that really stands out significantly is going to be the speed stat, which is 130. And it's a great speed stat. At max, you hit 394. I'll just show that right now. Max speed, okay. Max speed for a Tapu Koko is going to be 394. But what really sets this Pokemon apart, although you see its attack stats, and it looks like an offensive Pokemon, just by the base speed, by the moves it gets, such as Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, gets Grass Knot, Dazzling Gleam, even access to moves like Brave Bird, which just overall completely round out this Pokemon in terms of coverage. Also gets setup moves like Calm Mind, and it even gets Roost, which makes it more bulky option as well. And when I say bulky, I mean like it doesn't die as easily. Nature's Madness is another good move on it, as it is able to basically cut a Pokemon's HP in half. And the real big thing about this Pokemon is, of course, the Electric Surge ability. Now, Electric Terrain, what it does is it makes it so you, A, you can't go to sleep, and B, more importantly, it boosts your electric tank moves by, I believe, 1 point... Yeah, I don't know. It might be 1.2. If anyone knows, leave that in the comments. But it's a really solid Pokemon. So many items can run on it. You can run Life Orb, you can run Choice Spec, Zap Plate. Now, I also made this thing my Z Captain. Basically, in the tournament, we're going to be able to get one Pokemon that we are allowed to use Z moves on, and this is going to be that Pokemon for me. So I can run a bunch of different stuff. I can run like Calm Mind, Thunderbolt. I can run Tapuinium Z, which if you pair that with Nature's Madness, we're going to see right here, Tapuinium Z summons Guardian of Alola. So Guardian of Alola, we're just going to look at the move description. It does damage equal to 3/4 of the opponent's HP. And that's pretty significant because this Pokemon really doesn't have good switch-ins. The only good switch-in into this thing is going to be A, Excadrill, or Steelix, or B, Alola Marowak. And people say, oh, well, so many special walls can switch into it because you're obviously going to be running it as a special attacker because of not the base 95, because of course that's better here, but because of the fact that Volt Switch and Thunderbolt, 2 of its main moves, are going to be special along with Hidden Power. But this thing also gets U-turn as a momentum gaining move, which means you can get on out of there versus ground types, and you're hitting with physical power, which is incredible. Not to mention that with, I believe, a Life Orb and like a Wild Charge, you are able to 2-hit KO a max HP, max defense, a Violet Chansey with Wild Charge, which is absolutely insane. The Electric Surge, that is. Now, you're going to be taking a lot of Life Orb damage, and I'm not saying that's necessarily a set you'd ever want to run, but it's just to show off the sheer power of Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko going to be a great Pokemon for me. Going to be probably one of the staples for my team. just because of the pivoting options, the amazing offensive prowess, very scary to prep for. So the next Pokemon we were able to pick is Latios. Now, this is actually a Pokemon I really have not used yet. I used it once in a league that died about like 3 weeks in, and Latios is just such a fun Pokemon to use, or at least that's how it looks for me so far. If you look at its stats, these bottom stats are really what defines it, along with the HP stat, I guess. But special attack of 130, along with the speed stat of 110, so you hit 350 max, are both just incredible speed tiers. So we have a 130 and a 110 already. And one of the main things for this is, of course, Dragon Stab and Draco Meteor with Psyshock. Now, there's really very, very little that wants to take like a Life Orb or a Specs or even a Soul Dew Draco Meteor from a Latios, just based on that monster special attack stat. We're gonna boost it up, so you hit 359. And then if you like have a matchup where you can run Modest, then you hit 394, as you can see from the Tapu Koko also having that same speed stat. But this thing also gets some really good support moves. It's Defog, gets Roost, which supports itself, not anything else, but gets that. Gets Memento, so if I have a setup Pokemon, I would be able to Memento something with this Lottie, and then I'd be able to attempt to set up a sweep. It also gets moves like Light Screen. I believe it gets Reflect, definitely does get Reflect. Roost and Recover, as I already mentioned, so this is like a bit of a stretch, but if something were to use like Imprison, then you have that option. Gets access to Thunder Wave, you know, nice yellow color. Gets Trick, so if you want to run like Choice Specs with Trick, then that is an option. Also gets access to Dragon Dance, which is very interesting in the League format. I should also mention it gets access to Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, so if there's any bulky water or something, or even like a bulky flying type, something like Skarmory, for example, Skarmory or Celesteela, you would be able to Thunderbolt those and do significant amounts of damage to it. So it's pretty overall unwallable. The best things that really wall this thing are going to be bulky fairies, because if you look here, unfortunately it doesn't get any good poison any good poison moves in general. Definitely would not be stab. And it also doesn't get any good steel moves other than Steel Wing, and that's not a good steel move. So it's unfortunate, but the way I built this team, I think we'll have enough for fairies, or at least we'll be able to try to have enough for fairies. Overall, Lottie is just an incredible Pokemon, does so much damage to so many things, and I'm looking forward to using it so much. Should also mention it gets access to Calm Mind, another really good move on this thing. But yes, this is going to be a great Pokemon. Of course, I can't use Z moves on it, and Z moves on it would be pretty okay. Like, you could use Z Heal Block, which basically boosts up your special attack. Even though I would never really want to use that, you can use just any Z move from all the coverage it gets, but I can't do that. So it's unfortunate, but either way, Lottie's going to be a great Pokemon for this team. The next Pokemon I decided to get was going to be, let's see if we can find it before we actually get into it, Mega Scizor. Now, Mega Scizor is an absolutely threatening Pokemon to prep. Now, look at those two stats, attack and defense, 150 and 120. That is nothing to laugh at, especially if you look at the fact that it gets access to moves like Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, U-Turn, even Roost, Defog, and then all, like, so many different, like, coverage moves. Gets Superpower, gets Knockoff, gets Agility, gets Baton Pass, just so many different moves that it can benefit from. It gets Light Screen, apparently. I actually did not know that, nor do I think I'll ever use Light Screen, but that's just a cool thing to know. And one of the really cool things with the Scizor is it's going to be forcing a lot of people into running Power Fire, which is pretty okay for me. Of course, the fire weakness is pretty bad, but it's its only weakness, which is pretty darn good. Because if you look at this Pokemon, those stats, 150, 140, 100, and then 70 HP, those are not bad stats whatsoever. That's, like, it's not going to be dying to a lot of HP fires anyways, because of the fact that it's just so bulky, so bad. And I'm really looking forward to using this Pokemon. One of the really key things about Mega Scizor in OU, like, as I should say, is it sets up alongside of a lot of Sorry, I don't know why, but I'm like losing my voice semi, not really a lot, but it sets up alongside a lot of key threats in tier, such as Excadrill, Lando T, defeat stuff like Tapu Bulu, like all of those things. Like, this thing is just a very good response to a lot of different Pokemon. I'm very looking forward to using it. I hope I can do well with it. It's a little bit, not streaky, that's definitely the wrong word, but you have to basically play very well with it. Like, you're not going to be able to get away with running like standard spreads with it. You have to customize your sets to make sure you can take on very big parts of teams, and that's something that I am fully intend to do. I should also mention the ability Technician. That makes it so its priority move in Bullet Punch, along with moves like Bug Bite, Brutal Swing, though I don't see myself using Brutal Swing now that Knockoff is a thing. Pre-Banked was not a thing, but now it is, so that's definitely more useful than Brutal Swing in my opinion. As for the rest, there's not really much that this thing doesn't. Well, there's definitely a lot it doesn't do, but it's I don't know why I keep rambling about it, but it's a good Pokemon. Very good. Very excited to use it. So, next Pokemon we got for this team was Crocodile. Now, this might seem like a little bit of a rushed pick, but you'd be surprised how fast this Pokemon goes. This thing's type, Ground and Dark, provides a couple of key immunities, being an electric immunity and a psychic immunity, which is just absolutely great and devastating. Not to mention, this thing gets access to moves like Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Earthquake, and like stuff like Pursuit. Pursuit is a very key move in this format, in my opinion, because if you are just able to completely eliminate something, then you are very set. Just having that ability is so threatening, so powerful, just so game-changing. Also get some moves such as Taunt, even Bulk Up, which is another potential option for it, but yeah, I mainly see like stuff like Knockoff, Earthquake, Pursuit. Also gets moves like Stone Edge, Superpower, even Aerial Ace. If we look through its moves, gets stuff like Roar, I believe. It does get Roar. I knew it got Dragon Tail, but I was just gonna go for Roar first. And look at all these moves it gets. Like, it's just solid overall. Another really good thing about it is its two abilities, Intimidate and Moxie. Anger Point's semi-useless. Well, not useless, but so unreliable. Like, if you wanted to take a crit, if you could even like guarantee that you were going to get crit, which you can, by the way, in singles format, then like it's pointless, like entirely pointless. Very little that you should actually use that for ever, but yeah, Crocodile, very fun Pokemon. I figured it would really round out my team, like, somewhat, and that is the reason I managed to pick it up. So the next Pokemon I grabbed is a Pokemon that I'm not exactly a humongous fan of, but I just really wanted to see it in action, and I just got back to the Crocodile, I don't know why. But we have here, Suicune. Now, Suicune is one of those Pokemon that I see is only as good as the person that uses it, because you can always run the Calm Mindset, the famous quote from that Calm Mindset is called Rest, Sleep, Talk, and Rest, Sleep, Talk is mainly there because this thing, of course, doesn't get any reliable recovery. However, this Pokemon is just so threatening and so bad that people consider Rest and Sleep Talk reliable recovery on it. It's the same story with Snorlax, except Snorlax isn't as much in that case, but this thing is overall just very solid. 90 special attack, 85 speed, and those bulk stats are freaking disgusting. Also gets access to moves like Roar, and when people first look at this thing, they really think a lot of bad things about it, because, well, not a lot of bad things, but in the League format, they think a lot of bad things because of the fact that, oh, it gets easily beaten by every bulky water out there, which it can, definitely, but it's like, it's not worth it to worry about that too much. Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry I was interrupted by something, but something people really take for granted is how much coverage this thing gets. Let's just look at the coverage options. Air Slash, Blizzard, which also is Ice Beam, because Ice Beam is just better overall. Extra Sensory, Hydro Pump, which is just great. Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. And that doesn't look like a lot of coverage, but it can do enough to the Pokemon it needs to do it too. Of course, still the Combine set with Scald is probably one of the better sets. And we should probably mention Scald. Scald is hands down one of the best moves in the game, just because how spammable, how easy it is to just click and get rewarded. It's a 30% burn chance, but that's beside the point. I think Scald's a great move, and I'm not gonna say too much, but also gets stuff like Tailwind, which is just incredible overall. So yeah, Suicune, although I'm not a huge fan just because of how I've seen it used, I really want to like make it like seem okay. I really don't want to like be bad with using it, because that's just dumb, I guess. Like, no other way to explain it. But yeah, Suicune, cool Pokemon. Really looking forward to using it. Next thing we got was a Pokemon that I really wanted with Tapu Koko, and that's going to be Darmanitan. Now, I really haven't used Darmanitan like at all in this format. I've used it probably once, and that's it ever. But this thing is an absolute monster to switch into. Just look at that attack stat with 105 base HP, which doesn't really matter too much, but look at the attack stat. 280, well, not 285, of course. It's not 285, and it's not that little, but with an adamant nature, this thing has 416 attack, and even without that, you get sheer force boost and stuff like Flare Blitz. So that's a stab Flare Blitz coming from a Darmanitan with 140 attack, 252, well, if you want that. 279 HP, and that is also boosted by sheer force, which is insane. Another reason this thing is great is because it gives access to U-turn, which means that you'll be able to get out on bulky waters, which lets me bring in something such as my Tapu Koko, which I'm really looking forward to, like, that as a core, because it's just a really solid bulk core in general, along with stuff like Scizor. But also gets moves like Rock Slide, Superpower, Earthquake. It doesn't get good steel coverage, it only gets Gyro Ball, and it doesn't get poison coverage, but that doesn't really matter because Flare Blitz hits most fairies like it's rock. I'm just saying that because certain fairies in my pool, which I'll get into in a later video. It also gets Zen Headbutt, which is cool. Will-O-Wisp is another cool thing, and another really weird thing about this is Zen Mode Darmanitan. Let's see if we can find it. So Zen Mode Darmanitan, in my opinion, and in most people's opinions, it's really just not that good. Because it seems pretty okay on paper, but you gotta be below 50%, and then you're not gonna get enough hits off in time just because of how slow it is. But Darmanitan, just as a regular Darmanitan, does stuff so well. Oh, dog. It's just a very solid Pokemon in general. I'm looking very forward to using it. It's semi-one-dimensional, but it doesn't matter because it does what it does really well. I should also probably mention the speed stat, 95 base speed, so we hit 317 at max. That is not bad, especially 10, which can outspeed a whole lot of things. So, Darmanitan, really looking forward to using it, and we'll see how it goes. So, the next Pokemon we are going to be using for our team is going to be Chestnut. Now, Chestnut is a very interesting Pokemon because although Grass and Fighting could be a little bit more desirable as a defensive type, this thing, one, gets access to Bulletproof, which means stuff like Sludge Bomb won't be able to do very much to it for Pokemon that get that attack to try to do super effective damage to the Chestnut. And two, this thing is just a defensive monster, defense stat of 122, instead of 88, and that lets it take hits from so many things. I'll get more into that in my team prep videos when I get those out, even though it'll probably all be in one video, but yeah, I'm just talking about that at this point. But Chestnut it has a lot of very interesting tools, stuff like Bulk Up, Grass and Fighting coverage, Stab, it's not bad, as you see with Breloom and stuff like that. Even though Breloom gets priority, this thing's relatively slow, but it's just overall very solid, just what I wanted for my team. Spikes user, and I gotta turn my cap blocks off. As a Spikes user, it's very good. Synthesis lets it
get a lot of HP back, 50%. Although Synthesis isn't the greatest because of its low HP, it's still pretty good. Leech Seed, which is another form of recovery that I can use, and then just access to other moves, such like stuff like Sword Stance, Superpower, Spiky Shield. Even though Spiky Shield isn't that great, it's the possibility you can use Spiky Shield. Super Fang, which is pretty cool. Taunt, Wood Hammers, and Headbutt. I think I mentioned Sword Stance, but Chestnut, it's very interesting, very cool, I guess. I don't know, I like Chestnut. Like, a lot of people don't like it too much, but I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon. And just like the rest of these, really looking forward to using it. If you can't tell, I'm really excited about this team. I really think this will do a lot of good work. Except for this one Pokemon that I'm about to get into, but yeah, let's just get into that right now. So, for my last pick, I was noticing that I was having a significant lack of responses to birds. And by birds, I mean flying types, of course, because Tapu Koko can only do so much as a bird spam resistance, just because of its semi-frail defensive stats and the fact I want to use it more offensively. So I decided to pick Gigalith. Now, I was going to pick any other rock type, but I couldn't think of another rock type that did its job as well. And Gigalith, I'm not saying it's dead weight on my team, but it's not that good, because as you're going to find out, my pool doesn't really have a lot of significant flying types, which this thing can take advantage of. But look at those stats right there. That is nothing to laugh at. And one of the reasons that Gigalith was so bad last generation is because its special defense stat really wasn't anything. But this generation, it gets Sandstream, which means that its special defense stat is going to go 1.5 times, but only in the sand. So that's fine, because Sandstream is still a pretty good ability to get chip damage off. I don't have any sand abusers, but that's pretty okay. This is another rocks user, in which I only had one on this team at the time. And then I just have spikes on my Chestnut for other hazards. Good stat and rock stat. Stone Edge is semi-hard to resist, especially with stuff like Earthquake. Edgequake is pretty significant. Heavy Slam is another move it gets access to. This thing also gets stuff like Curse, which is really, really interesting. Maybe I can use that sometime. But this thing is just overall, like, it's not bad. I don't think it's the greatest for my team, but I think that it will be able to do what I want it to do in a significant way. So that's going to be my team. So that's going to be it for my draft analysis. Super excited to use this team. Shout out to my friend the Flying Bird for making this template right here, I want to say, and making this big like team reveal thing. Really looks really cool. I know a lot of people got it, but yeah, I'm super excited that I was able to get one. And I'm really looking forward to this tournament. I'll be posting my battles most likely in one video as they happen. So far, this is probably bad to like explain, but I've done 2 battles so far, and then I'll be able to get the rest out soon, and then I'll be uploading all of them in one video with team builders respectively. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this tournament. See ya.